jumps around on the ground.
Is it really? Where is he?
He's hidden in the shavings.
In the shaving?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to see him.
Hello, Miss Zoe. Oh, you're gonna wake up?
Baby.
Hi, we have visitors. Hi, I see you yawning. Hi, baby. Hi. Yeah, you got people that want to hold you. Yeah.
Is she like, okay, leave me alone now, right?
Yeah, hi, baby. Yeah, you gotta give me hugs. Yeah, you gonna give me hugs? No?
Oh, she is precious.
Hey, baby, you're the girl. I woke you up, didn't I? It's okay, I promise. You gonna get my hat? Your claw gets stuck in my hat. Don't do that. Usually I wear a build hat and she likes to play with it. Hey, you can either come on the towel or you can give me hugs. Your pick. Thank you. Give me hugs. I know you smell all the other animals
She's so
on me.
pretty.
Give me hugs.
So this is where she stays all the time?
Yes, this
And
is
then-
her new enclosure since she became a year old.
And outside too, right here? She outside
It's
here?
not yet. We have not taught her that yet. So
Aw.
she started out in the house. So this is all new to her.
Oh.
Just since December. Hi, Zozo. Hi, come here. I don't want your feetsies. I want your hands. Yeah, I want you to
She's
give
like,
me lovin's. Yeah, I do. I want you to give me lovin's. Yeah.
She is so pretty.
Come here, sweet girl. Let's give
She
hugs.
looks like,
Thank you. If you'll give me hugs, I promise I can get you out of there
oh
safely.
my God.
She loves hugs. Oh, good girl.
She's a hugger, isn't
She
she?
is definitely a hugger. Watch your little Amy. You got it stuck in your little hammock. That a girl. We had to move the three-banded armadillo in here because it was stressing our flash out. But it kind of gets in the way of us trying to get her out. So who wants to be first?
Sure.
We'll split the
Okay.
time for
We'll
sure.
split it. Okay.
So what it is when you're holding her, you want to put one hand up under her bum, just for support. She's not going to go nowhere.
Okay.
She's gonna hang on.
God.
But it just makes her feel comfortable. She likes to come up under your neck. She may lick you. If she tries to nibble on your chin, just try to deter her. We don't want her biting. She's never like chomp down, but and then you just gentle pet.
Oh, gentle pet.
Yep, just gentle petting. She don't like her belly scratched. She don't like it vigorously. She can
Just like that.
and she'll tell you. If she don't like it, she'll turn her head back at you or move her little paw at you. Yeah. So you going first?
Sure.
All right. So she's going to turn around and she's going to hug you on the neck.
Hi, baby.
There you go. You're just going to spin her little body around. There you go. I'm going to move her hair out of her way.
She's licking my neck. I love it. Oh, baby.
There you go.
Okay, so just, oh my God.
Where you going? I woke you up, didn't I, girl?
It's okay, she can like,
She can, yeah. She'll stop in just a second.
No, she can like,
She
I don't want her.
is a year old, just a little over a year old.
oh.
Her birthday is December the 9th or 16th. So this was the first time she came down here. So she's only been here for about a month in this enclosure. Are you hungry? Would you like some spinach, sweet girl?
She's hungry. She is hilarious. Hi, cutie. Hello. It's okay.
And you can just like relax, and so like whatever energy that you have,
She
the
has,
sloth
yeah.
has. So she just kind of
like-
relax. Yeah.
Hi, baby. So don't talk to her really.
I mean, you can talk, but it's just like you want to
It's
be
just
calm,
calm.
and she's calm.
Yeah. Look at her God. Would you like some spinach?
Look at
Would you
her.
like her to feed you some spinach? So she is a two-toed sloth, and you can tell that by the front feet, fingers, feet, claws, toes, whatever anybody wants to call them. There are also known as three-toed as well. Would you like some more? You can figure. Or we can scoot you a little closer if you need to be.
Is that good?
So sloths only use the restroom once a week. It's about every 7 to 10 days. And this little leaf of spinach here Can take her up to 30 days to digest. Are you hungry after your afternoon nap?
She woke up hungry. Am I doing okay with Emily?
Fine, she'll come back to you. You're perfectly
Okay.
fine. She's not gonna hurt herself, I promise.
Oh, look at her put her in her mouth.
Are you trying to sign for more? Are you signing more?
Don't break your neck, baby.
So she has 4 teeth, as you can see, while she's chewing, and at all times those teeth rub against each other, and that's how they stay sharpened. She does have a pretty long tongue.
Sweet. Oh, you're a good girl.
Now you gonna give big hugs? Yeah.
Oh, you're a good girl.
So sloths are pretty independent, isolated animals.
They're very
They can live by themselves. They don't have to have a partner. But they also don't mind if there's 50 partners. They kind of stay to themselves, do their own routine.
You're good. They're just very gentle.
They are, yeah. Just because they are on such high alert, because they don't have good vision. They don't see well. They're missing the C cell in their eye, therefore they don't see color or dimension.
Are you tired, babe? Yeah.
And so they rely on their sense of smell and their hearing to keep them safe. So they don't like to do a whole lot of moving, one for energy wise because their metabolism is so slow, but also for safety.
She's just sniffing. So she's how old again?
She's a year. We've had her since she was 4 months old. Good snuggles.
Good.
So she was raised to be handled by the guy that we got her from, and he's pretty picky about who gets to take her. It's not just any, not like going to the pet store. You can raise them in your house. We have a retired vet that does ours, and so he raised them in his clinic that he has. They're not wild. They're not used to the wild, so it's not like we took them out of the wild for sure. Say, I am a captive bred, raised sloth. And they don't have to be with their moms. So they only nurse for about 3 to 6 weeks, and then they're done. And then they're eating greens.
You're so pretty.
So her main diet was brown rice, sweet potatoes, look at you going to sleep. Sweet potatoes, and then we softened dog food to give her the protein.
They're so soft.
They are, so it is much softer than you expect, but in the wild, they're not quite that soft. They do have the long hair in the wild, just, well, you're gonna flip over and upside down. Yeah. She wanting some spinach. But they're more green in the wild because they grow algae and moths and stuff on them. So their fur or their hair is meant to habitat an ecosystem.
What about, do you give them baths?
We do not.
You don't
She's had a couple just because she's used the bathroom, because she's used to be in a basket or a hammock. She doesn't know to scurry down the tree to go to the bathroom. And so we'll give her a bath after she's gone potty.
But you're only not.
Typically, no, we don't bathe them like to keep them, they just stay naturally. Our big boy Flash, he's smooth and pretty like that.
That's good too. It doesn't smell bad or anything.
Yeah.
You smell pretty good. You're a sweet baby. I don't know how you do this. I want to take them.
We just get used to it. We just know we have to feed, and we've got everything else to tend to. There's over 100 animals. So
You're
yeah,
so
it would be
good.
nice to just sit around and hold her. And we do if we don't have as many encounters. Today's a good day, so she gets lots of her snuggles. She had some this morning too.
The little nose is so cute. It's just a little baby. Talk to me. Does she make little noises?
She can make noises, so she'll huff at you if she's not comfortable. But she'll also, if she really wants it, she whines. She can whine, but she'll go oof, oof if she really wants something. Yeah, she can. Oh, I didn't mean to startle you. I flipped that plastic and see how jumpy she is.
Just to hear.
They're very, very much on high alert. So even though she loves snuggles, she still has her sloth tendencies. She's still going to be very cautious.
Gosh, I can't take it. What a good girl.
She has grown quite a bit compared to our new baby Dash.
So with baby Dash doing?
He's hanging out up in the house. He starts out like she did in a smaller basket and in his own enclosure with the trees and stuff so that he can learn.
I just wonder what she's thinking, like, everybody's people want to hug me. Is she okay with that?
She loves it. That's what she's used to.
She's okay.
So like baby Dash is not a big fan of being up under your chin. He wants to just be down in your lap.
Mm.
But yeah, she loves it. She's been using. If she didn't like it, she would scurry away.
She'd be like, I'm out here.
Yeah, she would keep moving and scurry on and try to get into a tree. But she's used to it. And as long as we keep handling her like this and doing this, then she'll be okay 20 years from now doing the same thing.
They live 20 years.
That's typical by research, but it's really, there's not a lot of research on the lifespan of a sloth. It has been recorded that the oldest was a little over 40 years old.
Wow. Her little eyes are closed.
They sleep 85% of the day.
Do you want to take some selfies?
That's okay. I do want to get one with this little, can I get one with the tree that I have?
Absolutely.
Just to have a little habitat. I want you to get in the tree though.
Nice girl.
You're okay. Okay. I love the little noise she makes. What's up?
I didn't wear any perfume.
What are all the phones for?
It's media, TikTok, Instagram, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's how we get the word out mostly. We like word of mouth tends to be the fastest way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how we get on TikTok and stuff like that.
Now we can make a TikTok for you.
And he'll post, if you follow us on our pages and stuff, he posts little clips of
Oh, neat.
the encounter. It's a really cool Christmas gift. We've had quite a bit of those.
Yeah. Time is it? We split up the time, so I don't want to hog it up. We got a few more minutes.
Yeah, you're okay.
I could just sit here all day. Gosh.
We have started to offer where you could be sloth keeper for a day.
Really?
And I think it's 3 hours, but you get to tend to Zoe, Dash, and Flash.
Really? When did you start that?
Apparently they launched it last week, so I'm not sure if it's up on the website. I don't do any of the computer stuff. I just do encounters. Encounters keep things fed and clean. I have to give a little bit of breeze, not much. We do have to
They
keep
do
it
like-
so warm. It has
is
to
your
be hot,
natural
yeah.
temperature.
Because their metabolism, if they're not hot, their metabolism shuts down, and it's already slow. That it would cause them, it could kill them if they got too
They get
cold.
too cold.
Yeah. So she can have a full stomach, and because if she got too cold, her metabolism would stop, and she'd pretty much starve to death, even though she's got all that food in her
What'd
belly.
you think? What'd you think? So where's her ears?
Under her hair.
Okay.
Excuse you, she just wants to look at you.
So they're just little, oh, they're babies.
They are small, but they're very keen.
They're baby
There's
ears.
her ears for hearing and her sense of smell for sure.
Gosh,
And that's
I
why their
love her.
pupils are so tiny, because they can't see unless you're just right there.
You're such a
The Sloth Keeper experience is live on the website.
Is it? It's
And this is YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. I just can't talk back to the other side, but versus me standing here and being like weird. So I just go type on the computer versus me like, oh, what's that guy doing? You know?
Oh.
TikTok didn't stay gone for long.
No, were you guys
Oh.
worried about that?
No,
No.
there's too much money involved for people to give that up. And so
Was
even
it like
if
just 24 hours?
it disappeared, we would
It
just
wasn't
move
even
over.
24 hours.
People would just move to the other one, and I had everything up and going, so it
Yeah.
didn't really
Complete
affect anything.
24 hours that it was gone. Which is okay.
Honestly, it makes my life easier. So if we all just went down to 2, I'd be excited.
I bet. Little sounds.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, for the most part, this is what she does. She eats and sleeps. She'll move more in the evenings. She's not much of a mover, actually. She'll come down, eat her food out of her dish, and then go back to her bed.
What you doing? Little bug.
Oh, yeah, she is, for sure. She stayed with Donna, the owner, for quite a while up in the house to get her used to and acclimated, to be held and handled. And she would just stay like that. You could walk around and she'd hang on.
What are you thinking?
You see on the outside, we're hoping she enjoys her outside. I know Flash does when it's warm enough. We have a way that we'll put a branch, that's what that branch is for. When it gets warmer, we'll be able to transfer we'll hang it and she can go in and out as she wants. Yeah, that's sweet, sis. Are you ready to go over?
You're
Baby.
baby.
Hi, yeah, you give me hugs. You give me hugs. Big hugs, good girl. Big hugs.
Oh my Lord, her little toes.
Yeah. Oh, you were ready, huh? You were ready to transfer over
Which
to
one?
it.
0603.
603.
Yeah, 0603.
Where's your camera?
So are you
Yes.
Awesome.
and see, you found a place that you can actually hold her.
I was planning a trip to like Costa Rica just to hold a sloth.
I
know,
thought the same thing.
That's what I was thinking too, but.
I thought the same thing. That would be the only way ever
Yeah.
to be able to encounter a sloth at all times, but you know,
Mm-hmm.
now you can just stay here.
Look at her little toes just hang around.
Oh yeah, that is their safety. They're gonna hang on for sure.
I'll go get you some tissue.
She is. She's so sweet.
I knew you'd be like tiny little kitty.
And I feel like we need to be like dwarfs moving around in here.
Where's that little guy in there? Oh, I see him.
Oh yeah, he's in the back.
I see him. Is he friendly too?
Oh yeah, he is. He's resting, so in the mornings he's ready to run and play because he can eat. And then in the evenings he'll come back out to play.
Give Sloth kisses. She likes to smell your.
Yeah. She's pretty good.
She's
about
pretty
the
much
different
like
people.
everybody.
Yeah, yeah. There's some people that she can sense their vibe. We had a lady last week. She was very high energy. And just, even after getting her for just a minute, the lady was like, okay, you can take her back now. She obviously doesn't like me, and she was doing okay. She's like, you can take her back now. And I'm like, okay. So just like anything, they can sense
Yeah,
it.
just like your dogs or.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Sure.
Hi, baby. Her little nose is just like.
So we got her when she was about 4.5 months old. She was just under 2 pounds. She was a pound and something. And now we always have to weigh them after they use the restroom because they accumulate over a week's time. And so they gain about 2 to 3 pounds, but then they use the bathroom and lose it. And in order to get an accurate weight of growth, we have to wait. So she's near 12 pounds now.
Wow.
She's a good eater though. She likes to eat.
They need to.
She still eats out of her hand in the morning. We'll hand feed her.
Just look at how her little eyes are closed. It's funny how their little eyes are just like little.
Yeah,
There's no.
there's not much to them. If you'll ever notice, but she is more of a, I guess you could kind of say nocturnal. They're gonna move at nighttime because it's safer for them. Because they're so vulnerable, they're very easy prey. But most nocturnal animals have bulging eyes, and they're really big. But she's got, so I got teeny tiny little eyes and pupils. They're putting you to sleep, sweet girl. She's like, whatever.
It tickles. She's in your hair now.
She's like a big baby.
That she is.
She's still a baby.
Yeah, we still call her. We're bad to still call her Baby Zoe, just because it's what she's always been known as.
But is she full grown?
No, she's still got some growing.
Got some curling to do.
So you have Flash and Dash.
We have Flash and Dash, and then we have Zoe. So Zoe's in between. Dash is 5 months old, so he's much smaller. He's under 2 pounds. Little brown fuzzball.
Oh.
And then Zoe is a year, and then Flash is going on 6.
You tired, baby?
Is Flash like this?
Flash doesn't get held. He was 3 when we got him, so he wasn't taught. So he'll come down and he'll eat out of your hand. You can feed him and you can pet him, but he doesn't know what to do to be held. It's not comfortable for him.
Where does he live?
He's just next door on the other side of the wall. He has his own enclosure that he got. He was our original.
So they wouldn't be friends.
They don't do that anyway.
They don't do that.
No, they could. They could mate, and that's about it. But yeah, no.
That's
He's
all.
come over here before, and it hasn't fazed her, and it doesn't faze him. Now she was picky the other day. We had Dash in here, and she wanted to be held by John, and John had Dash, and she was not a fan of it. She was not a fan of Dash being on John, so I had to take Dash. But of course, that's the difference in a female and a male.
The only other sloth I have ever seen is the one at Knoxville.
Okay.
Knoxville too.
I've heard of different places that have them, and you can pay to see them, but it's not a guarantee that you're actually going to get to see them because it depends on if they come down. Same with Flash. Sometimes he doesn't want to come down. But here, we like to offer the fact that you actually get to hold and touch and encounter.
Yeah, her eyes are closed. Oh, I got 100 photos now. I just keep.
Might as
then you
well,
can-
yeah.
Then you just pick what you like, yeah. Surely we'll get a good one.
Yeah, and then sometimes I'll just do videos and then snap.
Yeah.
Snap it out of the video, because sometimes it's hard.
Do you want a little video too?
Sure.
I just did a little clip.
And see, you're not too far away. You'll have to come back and do some of our
I know, I want to do some other stuff.
other ones, yeah, for sure. That way you can experience the difference between all 3 of them.
Yeah.
And they all have their own personalities. It's really funny. You gonna scratch your back? Isn't it crazy?
Do you have an itch?
I got it on video.
And you can tell that she's held like that and petted because her hair lays down. And the flash comes out. He's got bed head big time. Yeah, oh, you're fine, you're fine. All she's gonna do is tighten up a little bit. So she is adjusting pretty well. She likes it down here. And she has her moments where she wants to be super attached. And she'll whine for us for quite a bit. So she lets us know when she wants to be touched and held, and yeah.
Has there been a time where you have people coming and?
Hardly ever have. One time I couldn't get her to come out of there for nothing, so I'm like, okay, she's not obviously coming to me, so I stepped away and let Kevin get her out, and she was okay with it. So sometimes she's just not in the mood. We try to respect our animals in that sense. If they're in the mood, good. If not,
You don't wanna,
we try to have backups. You know, have backup people.
So what time do you go home?
I just changed my hours. It was typically 9 to 6 is what I was working, but now I'm 8 to 4:30.
Okay. And at 4:30, does she just stay in here by herself?
She does stay, so we do our evening feeds typically between 5 and 5:30. And we leave food and we do all of our animals, and then they know to eat at nighttime. So in the mornings, we come in and hand feed her. We'll get her out of her bed, give her some lovin's, and then sit down and feed her. But in the evening, she comes down and eats out of her food bowl.
Okay.
And then we just turn the lights off. We try to turn the lights on at 9 in the morning so that she's aware that it's daytime. And then we turn them back off in the evening. She prefers it to be dark more than she does light.
she likes darkness.
Yeah. And they're perfectly content staying put until they have to eat.
When he takes videos, does he let us have a bit of them, or?
You can,
Or
it'll be on TikTok and Facebook. So if you follow our page, then you can, take it off of it, share off of it, or take it, yeah.
Okay.
So on my schedule here.
So is Dash and Flash the same color?
So Flash looks like her, except for more blonde. Dash is solid chocolate brown. Show you a picture of him real quick if I can get it to pull up. I got it somewhere. There he is. That's Dash. There's just a little bitty old brown fuzzball.
Oh,
He's tiny. And after holding her, he feels like nothing.
nothing.
He's tiny.
Anything else you want? Anything in particular? I think I got it. Oh, they're going in. See the baby kangaroo? It's like, yeah.
I have to show my friends.
Definitely.
Oh, you were on Snapchat. I gotcha. So can you make any of these a video? Did you get any video of me by chance? You didn't?
Alright, sweet zone. She's just gonna stay in here and take care of you, okay? Would you like a buddy tonight to stay the night with you? And just hold you all night long?
I can
Ready?
Well, not yet, they're taking a bathroom break, but
Okay.
ready when you're ready.
I'm ready. What are you doing, sweet girl? Yeah.
And these three are live right now, but then once it's turned off, they'll be fully up so you can see them.
Hi, Gigi.
She's just.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the kangaroos. You got some new friends coming.
For a new friend. Hi, baby.
Be sure to grab your jacket.
Thank
Okay,
you
then
so
I'll meet you out in
much.
the hall of the barn. I've got the baby kangaroos hopping around in there.
Look at these.
Yeah, I got the babies hanging, ready to eat, I know.
Hey guys, we're getting ready to do the next encounter, and who you're looking at here is Tatum and baby Zoe. We say baby Zoe because when she got here, she was really, really tiny, and she's gotten a lot bigger. We now have Dash, who is even smaller. In an encounter that we just opened, did you have a question? I think an encounter we just
Yeah,
opened.
just right there outside the barn. I'll be out there with the rest of y'all.
The encounter we just opened is Sloth Keeper for the day. So if you want to actually get to be with all three sloths for 3 hours, that's what you can book. So what you're about to see is the sloth cuddles, or sloth snuggles, I think is what we changed the name to. So the people will be coming in shortly. We won't be able to answer as many questions on this side. So if you're watching our live, just enjoy and listen. And if I have a chance, I'll try to answer some of them via chat.
My people are in the bathroom. Well, wait, your kangaroo people are here, and then, oh yeah, and then I have the sloth people. I'm like, wait a second,
And
who's
then
going where?
half of these people are farm tour. Or the people that I had in here, plus kangaroo will be farm tour.
Okay,
Plus there's supposed to be another group for farm tour.
okay. So, I'm waiting for my people to get out of the bathroom, but your kangaroo people are ready.
Yeah.
And then, what else? So these other people that just got done, is that
They're with them
Oh, okay.
kangaroo people.
Okay.
They all came together.
So we are doing a farm tour. So if anybody sees a human popsicle tomorrow, that will be Tatum. Amy and I just walked up to the gate, and it was very chilly. Hey Dakota, we see you. Thank you so much for always watching, and we really appreciate the support. Just wanted to give you a shout out because we really appreciate the support and the sharing that all of our online viewers do. We understand that not everybody can make the journey to see us here in person, and that's part of the reason that we share a lot of our experiences here online. You're welcome, Dakota.
Oh, where you going?
All right. So go ahead and come on in, sit in the 2 chairs there. And then I'll take the, aw.
This is for him.
Then I'll take it, he's going first.
No, he'll probably do it the whole time.
Hi Zoe.
I have fallen in love with these animals and went and fed one in North Carolina, but they won't let you touch them.
Yeah,
Cool.
we're one of the few facilities that you can actually touch her, hold her, you know, all that good stuff. So I'll show you guys how to pet her and how to hold her, and so that way you're comfortable, she's comfortable.
Okay.
And so, I'll pass her to you, with the little stuffed animal. And so you kind of just need to be a tree trunk, basically. So when I pass her to you, just kind of sit and she'll reach for you and wrap around you. And then, so with your one hand, I would say just keep fingers together and just make like a ledge.
Yeah.
Just a ledge. You don't want to grasp like this, and you don't want to do like a big scoop because she doesn't like that pressure on her
Just
back.
hold it like that.
Just a little ledge there. And then with your other hand, that's for petting. And so it's just short strokes on the back of her neck. We don't want to do claws. We don't want to pat. And we don't want to scratch like this. So again, just short strokes.
Nice
She
pet.
doesn't like her belly touched, and then not her face. And you don't want to put your hands in her face, or
They have
like,
crazy teeth.
they have very sharp teeth. They do. And so if she does, like if she's up close to you like this, sometimes she might lick, she may or may not. If she
Aw.
does do this, like with her mouth,
Mm-hmm.
so like right now she was kind of licking, which is totally fine. But if she goes to open her mouth, just slowly turn your head so that way she doesn't nibble on you.
Okay.
Because obviously she's gonna eventually be an adult and we don't wanna teach her those bad habits now. So we
Well,
wanna
you'll
make
be
sure
here
she's
to
not
watch.
nibbling on people. So I'm gonna kinda transfer her to this and then I'll pass her to you.
Okay.
So she'll reach out to you. There you go. And I'll move this away.
Oh,
And
there
then
you
just
go.
ledge underneath her. There you go.
Oh, that feels so good. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Zoe, you feel so good.
He's
Little
been
snuggle
waiting
bunny.
for this forever.
Yeah.
See, I just booked me just so he could have the whole half
Yeah.
hour.
Aw.
Because I really don't care,
Yeah.
one way or another.
Oh,
This is his bucket list.
Aw, that's so sweet.
you are sweet. Oh, you are so sweet.
Yeah, she may. There she's like, oh, what are those, glasses? Hmm.
You're sweet. I don't want to disturb her or do anything wrong. Oh, you are sweet.
Yeah, oh, I don't think I can.
Are you sweet? Oh. You like my sweater? Is it nice and warm for you?
So, what are your boxes? Am I gonna see on here? Zoe is a two-toed sloth. She is just over a year old, and she just turned a year old on December 16th. So she just had her birthday just a little bit ago.
No, is she the one that had the baby?
No, so none of our, so the baby did not come from any of our sloths.
Oh, okay.
So the baby that we have, he's 5 months old now, came from a facility, same as we got her,
Mhm.
but we didn't breed any of our sloths to get the baby. And so, speaking of that, sloths reach sexual maturity at 3 years old, and she's just now a year old.
Looks like she's going to sleep.
Yeah.
So they don't like being patted like a dog does or a kitty cat?
Nope, so
No.
that's, of course, all animals have their own little personalities and what they like, but pretty consistently
Does she
with,
mind if I lay her back?
that's
there?
totally fine, yeah. And she's kind of like, you know how ferrets are really flexible and
Mhm.
like slinky-like? They're very similar to that.
No, I just want her to be comfortable.
Yeah.
I know my dog knows me to
So
just.
look
Yeah.
over here and smile.
So sloths, pretty unanimously between all three of ours, they don't like to be swaddled and coddled
Mhm.
like a human baby or like a really sweet kitten or puppy where they just rub all over them.
Mhm.
They like the security of holding on to you and feeling that without being like squeezed and
So
rubbed
now
all
I've
over.
been kind of holding her up a little bit, but I could actually
Mhm.
let go.
Yeah, you can relax that a little bit, like the hand underneath, and then she'll kind of slowly kind of wiggle down. Or when you're sitting, you could bring your legs up a little bit,
Mhm.
and she can kind of sit down in your lap the more that you relax this hand.
Oh, okay.
That way you can actually see her a little bit better.
Yeah, because I can't see you.
I
pretty
know.
girl.
So the more
Now,
that you
is
relax that
Is
hand.
it true, and I've read about this, but everybody says, no, that you're full of it. The fastest time they move is when they have to come out of the tree and go poopy and go back up.
So no, the fastest
Oh,
they
see.
move is falling out of a tree.
No, that's one way of
That's the
putting it.
fastest way.
That's the
If you
funniest
hear that,
thing
Zoe.
I've heard you say, so keep it.
It's true.
On that note, we go out.
Oh,
You don't want to move, just stay right there.
No, yeah, their fastest mode of transportation is just falling out
If
of
she
the tree.
says any more bad jokes like that, throw something at her.
But it's true.
I know it's true, but it's kind of funny. Oh, she made a funny one.
Yeah.
What's the matter with
So,
that? What's she doing?
Sloths, their
Making fun.
defense, like if they had, so their main predator is a harpy eagle. It's the largest
Okay.
eagle in the world, and they're massive. They're like monkey
And
eaters.
they're from Australia too, right?
So Central and South America.
Oh, okay.
So what the eagle is doing is they're flying over the tree canopy jungle, looking for movement up in the tops of the trees where the sloths and also monkeys hang out. That's another part of their prey. And they're looking for movement, and the sloth's defense is to move really slow.
Mhm.
So they just go completely undetected is their goal. They're solitary animals, and their goal in life is just to go under the radar.
Do they like hide in the tree, in the leaves and everything?
They just blend in. I mean, so their fur is kind of camouflagey. It's very muted. So they're gonna blend in with tree trunk bark. You know, between her fur and like this tree here. Now that's not the same tree that would be in Central America, but they're all going to be somewhat similar. And also in the wild, they're going to have algae and moss growing on them, so they're going to have
Really?
that green camouflage. So they're just going to blend right
You
in.
gonna need a baffy sometime?
And so they just move really slow, which is their defense. So, but if the eagle, let's say, spotted them, landed on the tree or the limb, the sloth can't move fast enough to get away. So actually their second defense, other than moving slow, is to move really fast and I'll just fall out of the tree. And they do it on purpose. So they will fall out of the tree intentionally to get away from danger, and they can withstand a fall 80 to 100 feet.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah.
Wow,
And
you're
so
a
that
tough
is
little
their
girl.
defense mechanism, is just to drop out of the tree.
So they
and
drop on any part of their body they land on?
I mean, who knows?
Like cats are supposed to land on
Yeah,
their feet.
they don't land on their feet, they just kind of flop.
Just sit down. There we go.
But their bodies are
There
built
we
really
go.
unique in
There you go, young lady.
they can hang all sorts, you know, you've seen pictures of them hanging upside down, and they eat
Oh
upside
my
down and
Lord,
all
honey,
that.
she's beautiful.
But sloths have,
You got an itch? You got an itch?
sloths
You
have
got an itch, sweetheart.
46 ribs, and so they're very much like a slinky body. Their whole rib cage is basically one big
They
slinky.
must
I
be
bet
really
you I know what
tiny.
she's after.
And-
She smells the food.
Oh yeah, she's a sniffer. And their organs are attached to their ribs. And so when they fall or when they hang upside down, their guts aren't shifting around. Like if we fell, the impact would do the damage to us because our guts would get all rearranged and internal bleeding and all that stuff. They wouldn't have that.
My sweetheart.
So the baby's all brown, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they
Dark
they're
brown.
all that color when they come out?
Yeah, so when they're babies, when they're born, they're real dark brown. And I got a picture of our baby. Because I just fed him last night.
I did
and-
see it online, so I just was wondering if they're all come out that color
Yeah.
and then it changes gradually.
And then they slowly get more and more blonde, like this one. So that's him. That was last night.
Aw.
And he's so small he hangs onto your bicep.
Oh, he's so tiny.
So he's real dark brown. And really he's like a silky, his hair is really silky smooth. And then it just kind of grows out more and more into, I wouldn't call her hair coarse.
No.
But it's not silky either.
Hmm.
So here he is on my bicep. And he looks big in the picture, but
Yeah.
my arm is not that big.
Yeah, no.
So in comparison, it's like he's hanging
Now,
on.
was this,
This is last night.
was it at your house or?
So
you
he
guys
stays
live
up
in-
at the main house. When you guys came in, you passed the cabin or
Mhm.
log house. And so he stays up in the main house until he's old enough to have an enclosure down here.
So you don't never, oh. So you don't never put them all together?
No. Main reason is sloths are solitary animals. And so they don't live in social groups.
Really?
Nope.
You miss all your friends.
Yep.
What's up
They
with
don't have
that?
friends. They're like the ultimate introverted animal.
Yeah, sweetheart, you need to have some friends. Some friends. You don't want all friends.
She likes people friends.
You'll never have a best friend. They'll do you wrong.
She likes people friends for
But then
sure.
again, you're my best friend.
Aw. And
You are adorable.
I think eventually the plan might be to house the baby and her in the same enclosure. Just because this is a 1-story enclosure. It's kind of just a 8 by 8 box or something. Next door it's this plus another story on top of it, and so it's a lot bigger.
That'll give them
And
climbing time.
So we're thinking eventually move the 2 babies, her and the other baby, into the bigger enclosure when he's big enough, and then our adult move him in here because he's just 1.
Now, what did they really like when you're holding them? I mean, is there
They really like just like that.
just like this?
Yeah.
You don't have a very exciting life. You
No.
really. You really need to come home with me.
Yeah.
I got a dog.
That was their favorite, just like that.
You're just so cute.
Mhm.
You are adorable.
When I hold my arms up like that, my arms feel like they're starting to drain out of blood.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so that's another part of their makeup is
Look at you.
they can just hold on to and so the other
Well,
thing
it's
too
a
is
sleep.
her toes or her
Falling asleep
claws.
on me.
but they're really just toes. So for us, like our relaxed state of our hands would be like this, you know, kind of open, not clenched. So their relaxed is this and holding on to something. And it takes effort to actually open up their toes.
So they do come out of the tree though.
So they
For
do come out of the
certain
tree to
reasons.
poop. So
To poop, there you
that's
go,
the only
okay.
thing.
But it's not real fast.
It's not fast.
You
No,
gotta get
climbing down the
faster.
tree is not fast.
You gotta get fast.
Moving back up the tree is not fast.
Yeah, you gotta do that like.
And yeah, in the wild they go poop about every 2 weeks, once every 2 weeks, and it's a poop and pee combined, and
Oh,
that's
you
all
won't-
it is.
You
So
won't
there's
get
no pee in between that time
that.
frame.
Really.
I wonder how they hold it all in their bodies for so long.
I need to learn how what you can.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's all a part of their survival technique is when they come down to the jungle floor to poop, because they climb all the way down the tree, and then it's always the same tree, and then they poop in the exact same spot on the ground. And so they're vulnerable when they come all the way down there to a jaguar or a ground predator. And so that's, again, part of their defense is to not have to do that very often, which I don't know why they just didn't stay up in the trees then, but whatever, I'm not
You
a
just
sloth.
call me, I'll come
I don't make the
get
decisions.
you. You call me, I'll come get you.
But I will say there's probably the reason, well, they have a moth that lives in their fur in the wild called a sloth moth. And so part
Say
of the,
that faster.
I know, right? The sloth moth lays its eggs in the sloth poop on the ground. And then when those hatch and the sloth comes down to poop, the hatched eggs then fly up into the fur, are now adult sloth moths. And then back up the tree 2 weeks later, those adults lay more eggs in the poo, and they just do a switch every 2 weeks. So there's a reason why they do come down and poop in the same spot is because of that
So you're
sloth
helping to
moth
have babies.
relationship.
Well,
Has any,
so they use the sloth as their home to live
Right, and the sloth uses the good bacteria from the insect droppings. They consume that, like when they're licking themselves, and their skin absorbs it as well. And so that's bacteria and nutrients that they get from the sloth moth that
So
they
do you
don't
put
get.
moths in here?
So they don't, thankfully no, because I'd go crazy. They have, in the wild, they'd have about 150 bugs on them at any point in time, which is like, imagine that crawling all over you, but, so in captivity, we don't need to do that because they're just getting so much more nutrition in their food. In the wild, all they're eating is leaves, and the nutrition quality is very poor. And they have to eat a lot of those leaves to get the
I
nutrition.
think I put her to sleep.
So you don't, they don't like ever fight each other or anything?
No, they're not
'Cause I don't
territorial.
know how they would fight, they move so slow.
That-
I'm gonna ask a weird question.
Okay.
So don't think I'm a pervert.
Okay.
Do they make love fast? I mean.
So it takes about 1 to 2 minutes, and then off they go. So they only time
do
that
they have certain mates that they?
I don't know if it's like a repeating mate or if it's just kind of opportunistic. I'm not sure about that. But that's the only time that they come together is to mate, which takes about 1 to 2 minutes, and then they just completely go their
So they
separate ways.
really are solitary.
They are.
Wow, what a boring
And
life.
so they
girl.
have, how long does it take them to be pregnant?
11 and a half months.
So it's a long time.
And then when the
They come
baby's
out real
born,
tiny?
yeah, less than a pound. And when they're born, of course, they climb up on mom and they just attach to her. And she's nursing them for about 4 weeks. And then after that, then there is no more nursing. And the baby is consuming leaves as early as 4 days.
Jeez.
So as early as 4 days, they're eating leaves, but they're nursing up until about 4 weeks. And then mom stops production of milk after that point. And then at about 4 to 5 months, she weans them completely off of her, and they're on their own. So, and they're they're less than 1.5 pounds at that point. So if you imagine this,
So how many do they have at a time?
one, always one.
So that one follows her around when she's teaching it, or?
Yeah, well, hangs,
Hangs
stays
onto-
like a
onto,
monkey,
right?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. You need a
Yeah, the
boarding
baby's
life.
attached to her, and then about 4 to 5 months, she removes the baby and, you know, the baby's on its own after that.
I wonder how they feel, they're so lonely.
That's
You know
what they
what?
like.
I didn't
No,
like it when
how-
I was divorced and I was lonely, I didn't like it.
Yeah,
Some
That's why I
people,
bought
some
her.
people like to be
they're little
alone.
hermits.
Look at Isaac, he likes
Yeah,
being by
he's-
himself.
Yeah, but he's dysfunctional.
I like being alone a lot.
Sloths are just little hermits. They like
I like the
living-
way she just sat, but she always has to be holding on to something.
You know, not always. So see how she has her one hand tucked up
Yeah.
underneath her?
I just-
Sometimes she'll tuck the other
I
one up
touched
underneath her
her
too.
nails and see what they
Yeah.
look like.
So
There's
her
two sloths, three
two. So
sloths,
she's two-toed. So
but
there's
three
two.
toes too.
Right. So there's a two-toed sloth and then a three-toed,
Okay.
and obviously that's kind of self-explanatory.
Mhm.
But both of them, both species always have 3 toes in the back. So it's the front arms that are the difference.
Okay, so she's got 3 in the back.
Yep.
I'm gonna check you
You're
out.
bothering her.
She'll
Hey, you're bothering her.
She's like, what?
She'll go back her sleeves.
So she doesn't remember not to put pressure on her back. So like you're kind of holding her back there. So remember either just a ledge or you don't have to do anything down there at all. You can just let her sit in your lap.
You're breathing on her.
Yeah, just like that.
You're breathing on her.
But yeah, when she gets pressure anywhere on her bum or her back, she's like, what is that back there?
Hey, sweetie.
She's adorable, dear.
Yeah.
She's nothing like what I thought. I thought she'd be all, hard and
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah.
So is that your husband that runs this place with
No,
you?
so I'm just an employee. John and Donna own the farm, and they're actually out of town right now. But so they own the farm and run the farm, and she does a lot of the administrative stuff and bookings and all the computer work. And then John is very hands-on with the farm and does a lot of the encounters and stuff too. So I've been here about a month and a half.
Is that
I
all?
started.
Hmm.
I travel full time, and I was looking for my next place to. So when I travel, I work and live on property wherever I'm working, or ideally. And so I reached out to them and I was like, hey, I really like your farm, and this is kind of a little bit about me, my animal experience, and they were looking to hire somebody, and so it was a really good fit. So I live on property and work here full time, and then I'll probably be here for about 1.5 years and then travel and go to the next place and keep on just making my way around.
So where do you go, all different places?
So far, my travel strategy has kind of changed, but my camper is not made for hauling across the country 20 times. Like, it's not a long distance hauler. And so my goal was always to kind of stay in one area and really explore the radius around that area and take my time and just do small little chunks versus just going from here and then California to South Dakota and like all over the, you miss so much in all the in-between stuff you miss. And I like to take my time. So anyway, I've been Florida, Georgia, and then now Tennessee, and a little bit of North Carolina.
Where'd you graduate college?
Didn't go to college. I went to school. I grew up in Washington State.
Okay.
And so that's where I grew up and left there about when I was 21 and worked in Texas for a few years and then Florida and then started traveling full time about 2
So
years
it's
ago.
all about animals that you do?
Mostly that or,
Humans
I've
are
done-
animals sometimes.
yeah, yes, very much. Before this, I was a campground host at a state park in Georgia, North Georgia, 2 different parks there. And so anything outdoorsy, animals, that's like right up my alley and something that I would enjoy a lot. And kind of thinking about working at like a dude ranch next that has like overnight horse rides, and then you do set up tents and do campfire cooking and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's something that I really enjoy. We have horse rides here too, but just around here on the property.
Well, here's what I say. Make as much money when you're young as you can
Yep.
and do what you want, because you can do anything you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I try and instill that in my kids because they think I'm a success and I'm like, no, I'm a survivor.
Yeah.
Like,
I kind of had that realization when I first started traveling 2 years ago of like, I need to live my life and I need to go out and do stuff. Well, I have my health, I have the means to be able to do it,
yeah,
you know, and I'm like,
keep that.
why do I
health.
keep telling myself next year? Like, I just need to do it.
Just keep healthy.
So,
Stay healthy.
that was what I
I'm
did.
71, she's 65, so.
Yeah. Yep. You can't do much when your health is failing. I know
Mhm.
it's definitely
And
important.
you need money, so.
Yeah.
You know, she's made me debt free. I forget how long it took. Not long after we got together, she goes,
hmm
"You make all that money, you carry around $800 in your pocket to spend? Nah, that ain't happening." Next thing she goes, "You're gonna be debt free."
Whipped you into shape.
Yeah, oh, she took over the bills, and one day she comes, she goes, "We did it." I'm like, "We did what?" She goes, "We're debt free." I'm like, "What?"
Well, that's
I
awesome.
forget how long it take you. Not long.
Oh, we had a 30-year mortgage and I paid it in 15, so,
Mm-hmm. Well, congratulations. That's exciting. It's definitely a relief.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we try to, like, we both work, like I babysit and he works just to have extra money to do
Mhm.
things like this.
Yeah. Yeah. The fun stuff.
Yeah. And we try to go on vacations, you know, once or twice a year.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome.
Practice my yoga.
I know. Wiggling through here.
Sorry.
Where are you
So
anyway?
when I made the appointment, they were like, you can't go in with him. And I'm like, well, I want to take pictures of him.
Yeah.
Well, you can't go in with him unless you want to do an encounter with him. I'm thinking, that's a lot of money for us both to,
Yeah.
you know, do the encounter, but, so I said, whatever, this is your bucket list, let's
You're
do it,
Yeah.
get it done.
So now, when they go to sleep, they'll take a tree limb like that and they'll lay this way and wrap around it, or?
So they can just hang. So
They can hang like
the
this.
limb that's so the limb that's right above you, they could sleep on there and just free hang, like, you know, with their toes hanging, back legs, and then their front legs, and
Like
just
upside down?
and just hang like a
Crazy girl.
little hammock like that. Yeah. So they make their own little sloth hammock.
But they don't have
Under
to
their
like
arms.
lay in that hammock up there.
Well, obviously they're not gonna have a hammock in the
So how,
wild.
so how do they stay like this when you get into a REM sleep and your body just
Well,
lets go?
so that's the difference between us and sloths. When we relax, our muscles are just like bleh. Their relaxed state, like I said, is this.
Wow.
So it'd be equivalent to our relaxed hands is this. Their relaxed hands is that.
Mhm.
And so, and John even says, the owner of the farm, he says, in theory, if the sloth died while it was sleeping and hanging, it would just stay there because the muscles
Wow.
are relaxed. Like there is no more relaxed than hanging. And so it's not die and then relax and then they would fall. Like they would just keep hanging there.
That's why I want to
Till that
hold
eagle
you.
came by and grabbed them off.
Yeah, right.
the branch.
got a free meal.
You guys are strange little creatures, you know that?
And you'll see it a lot, like when they reach for food, like when they reach, it's really slow, but if something startles them, they move back like as fast as we would move back. And the reason that we have like the Ys and the crooks like that is so that's what they look for in that wild, because they're trying to find like a little fork, you know, just like a upside down tripod, and that's where they want to nestle. So the way that their muscles and tendons are set up, they can hold themselves and then relax and they stay. But out in the wild, you'll find them in little threes. And then that's the purpose of the hammock, is to replicate.
So their back would lay on one part and then
Yeah, like that's how
Hey, that's
Flash
pretty
always is he's kind of curled up,
Mhm.
and then they always take one hand. So in Flash's area, he has like bunk
Yeah, look
beds,
there.
and so he'll always put one arm kind of
That's
always
what I'm
up, and he
doing.
holds on.
Where'd that come from?
He's sitting back here behind me. So this is his enclosure too, is this room.
Where's your
So
friend?
so this is Baku, and he's a three-banded armadillo. He's native to a Brazilian rainforest.
So he stayed all closed until you put him down.
Yeah. So he burrows in the shade. That's when I sat down and I was like, make sure I wasn't gonna sit on him.
So you don't, if you pick him up, he'll close right back up.
Yeah.
again.
He'll eventually, like, if you just hold him still, he'll open back up because he thinks he is not, being threatened anymore. And he'll try to, jerk out of your hand because he thinks he's stuck. So,
He's checking out your coat sleeve.
yeah. But he has a very good nose, so he likes to sniff and, dig into your shoes and shoelaces and all that stuff.
You
So
don't make eye contact, do
They're
you?
strange looking too.
they are.
It's like they got the helmet on their
Yeah.
head and everything
Hmm.
to protect them. Look at Jerry,
Yeah.
look at them. They look like them bugs, them roly-poly bugs.
Yep. So he's 9 months old, and full size, he'll be about the size of a soccer ball.
Climbing up your
Mhm.
shoe.
Yeah.
You can
And
come
so
up
he
here.
doesn't bite, but he might dig underneath your pant leg and stuff like that in his little toes, and he'll dig and kind of root around. He's very cute.
Just making you happy.
So they're kind of like a rodent.
So actually, they're in the same family as the sloths. So anteaters, sloths, and armadillos are all in the same. What was it called?
That's weird.
Zoothorans, so it's the ability for them basically to fold up on themselves. And on giant anteaters, you actually see the remnants of like a plate on the back also. So that ability for them to fold up all the extra vertebrae that sloths, anteaters, and armadillos have, give them that ability.
See that?
So his tail has that hard stuff on it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when he folds up, let's see if I can get him to.
Aw.
He folds up in the complete. Now you're gonna do it now. See how it's like perfectly little puzzle piece,
Well,
and so that's their defense. And then he can.
Just come right back up.
There he goes.
that was fun. Can you do that?
Nope.
Oh,
She can roll up like a little ball though. So what she does when she sleeps and she's in her hammock and she's really cozy, she'll sit kind of like on her back, but take her back legs and do like crisscross applesauce. And then she'll kind of fold over and then put her arms crisscross applesauce and just be like this. And just a big sloth ball.
So can certain people own a sloth?
Yes, so you don't need special permits or anything to have a sloth. However, in saying that, they are not easy pets. So I know, like, sitting here, it's a little deceiving of like, oh, well, this is great. I can just do this all the time. The main thing is they need a very specific environment in order to survive.
Yeah.
The main thing is their temperature. It needs to be between 78 to 85 degrees all the time. And if it's not, their digestive system actually shuts down. And so as a caretaker or owner of the sloth, you're thinking that you're doing good. They're eating every 12 hours, they're consuming their food, they have a full belly, they should be fine. But if they're exposed to cold for too long, they could still be eating, but they could be dead a month later.
Wow.
And they
Did you
could
hear that?
dead with a full stomach. And so you're thinking you're doing everything right. Next thing you know, you have a dead sloth. So that's one thing. Another.
I just want to kiss her. She reminds me of my dog.
The other thing too is that people don't think about is her environment needs to be very routine and very kind of relaxed and I say stress-free, but also noise-free. So no other pets that are going to be barking or making any other noise. No grandkids or kids coming over and yelling and screaming and making noise. No TV, radio. That's all, can have high-pitched noises that would startle them or create stress for them. No domestic arguments, so you can't yell at each other.
So you'd have to put it in a room all by itself and soundproof it.
Even like cooking in the house with the sloth, strong scent. Their sense of smell is really strong.
You got little ears.
She does, yeah. They're like little monkey ears. They're on the side of her head.
Little ears.
So we're actually licensed by the USDA as a USDA exhibitor, so just like a zoo. So when people ask the question of, could you have a sloth as a pet? So in Tennessee, found as 100% correct, it would be within the rights of the law, but a horrible idea, right? So it's like, hey, is this legal? Sure. but it's a horrible idea because of environment and everything else that goes along with it. And the reason I'm reiterating that is because there's thousands of people watching online,
Yeah.
and they'll immediately be like, I'm gonna go get a sloth. And so we always try to make sure that we let people know that horrible idea, don't do it.
Yeah.
Right, not good idea.
Wants and needs.
Right, that's different. Like, is it okay? Can you do it? It wouldn't be good for the sloth
Yeah.
at all.
That's what we're trying to teach our older children, wants and needs.
Exactly.
You may want something, but do you need it?
Right.
And if you don't need it, wait until you can afford it.
Right. And our purpose here is for them to act as ambassador animals so that we can educate people and be like, hey, this is the purpose of the sloth. You don't need to go here. This is a way for people to enjoy them and learn without putting them in danger. Does that make sense?
Hmm?
Try to explain it in a good
Sure
way.
it is, yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's some people it might not make some sense to some people.
Oh, yeah.
Now, does she don't mind you rubbing her back and forth?
You know,
like
I
a
would
baby?
say it's not a normal thing that we do with her, and so it would be out of the normal for her
We've
to.
had 8 kids, so the normal thing I want
Again,
to do is
kind of think of yourself as a tree trunk. So a tree trunk would be, I mean, it maybe move a little bit, but the more stable of a tree that you are, the better.
Are you thrilled now?
I am
You
just,
got your thrill?
she had a brother that has passed away,
Mm-hmm.
and I used to call him my human sloth, because he would just move.
He was so
I
slow.
said, Kyle, we really gotta get to going. He was grown, I mean, how old was Kyle before he
He
passed
was
away?
old, 50?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he just had I wish I could be like him. No cares in the world. If I get there on time, I get there, they'll wait. You know, just.
Yeah.
Well, a couple of years ago, we drove all the way over to Outer Banks,
Yeah.
North
I
Carolina,
know.
for him to be able
Don't you
to
go falling off of me.
hold a sloth, feed a sloth,
Gotcha.
whatever.
Yeah.
When we got there, they only let him pet
They
it.
let me feed it. What was it, bananas?
We drove by 8 hours for that. And
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing with our facility is that we really kind of pride ourselves on is number one, that we prioritize the health of the sloth, and so we limit how many encounters they do a day. And then number two, that because we limit how many encounters we do with them and we don't, stress them out or anything like that, we create an environment where they are comfortable to be held and interacted just like this. And that it's one of the few places that you can do that.
you know, 'cause they said, you can't hold sloths, they don't like that. you know.
Yeah.
My
It's-
oldest brother today, he's 77, he's not doing well, but he says, I asked him how he's doing with the snow in Philadelphia, because he lives in South Jersey, that's where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'm gonna go hold a sloth. He goes, what's a sloth? I'm like, you're 77 years old, you've never heard of a sloth? I said, I'm gonna go hold one.
So when people make the statements like, oh, sloths don't like to be held, I make the comparison as if you had a cat that was a feral cat that was born in a dumpster in a back alley somewhere. That cat wants nothing to do with you. It doesn't want to be held, doesn't want to be touched, it just don't even want to look at you. Versus a kitten that you raise in your house and maybe bottle feed it and interact with it from day one was a completely different animal, but it's potentially the same cat, but raised totally different. So it's the same thing with, animals across the board. And so Zoe was handled intentionally from as early as 4 weeks old. And so this is her normal, and she very much enjoys it. If she could just stay on somebody all day, she would.
So instead of just this part, does she mind you going like this? And
Yeah, as long as it's kind of like from her ears
from her
back.
ears back?
Yeah.
You don't want me to touch your eyes or anything.
But our adult sloth, Flash, he was not raised the same way that she was. And so you can pet him and you can feed him, and he comes down out of his enclosure and we feed him in the morning and, hand feed and stuff like that. But he has never been on somebody. Because, again, he wasn't raised by hand with somebody when he was born.
When they're breathing.
So nobody's ever tried to hold him?
He wouldn't go for it.
No.
So it's a matter of we're not gonna just go up and grab him, because he would just panic and it would just be a terrible experience for
I
everybody.
know, I'm bothering you.
And so he's never reached for us, and because he's used to, grabbing onto something like this, we're totally different.
Mhm.
So it's a completely foreign object to find, to hang on to.
So if you put her on the ground, she'll go right for the trunk and try to.
Oh yeah, or your leg. She'd probably just climb up on you.
You climb up
Because
on
like
somebody's leg?
she goes in her basket a lot of times, like if we're taking her up to the house or transporting her or something like that. And so I'll stand next to the basket and she basically is crawling up my leg trying to, using me as a tree trunk to get up. So.
She's got such a little wheeze to her.
Mm.
She's cute.
Do you guys want me to get you some pictures of the both of you?
That's okay, it's all right. I
Mm,
took
no
a
big
few
deal.
pictures of it.
Okay,
And I took a little video,
okay, good.
so we're good.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Well, you can't take it home.
I don't know.
I know.
Her eyes are wide open now.
Which island for the Outer Banks?
Where did we go? I
Just
don't know.
Hatteras?
We did go, we went to Hatteras,
Yeah.
Cape Hatteras, and we went to Captain George's Seafood.
Gotcha.
So it wasn't a
I
wasted
think that's where
trip.
John and Don are going now.
They're not going to Outer Banks. They're in Virginia.
There's
Oh.
four, there's
Yeah.
one in Richmond.
Oh, okay, I was like, that name is familiar.
Yeah, there's 3 of them or 4 of them in that area
Okay.
on the
Mhm.
eastern coast. The last one we went to, which was the one in North Carolina, like I said, they weren't as good as the one that's in Virginia.
Yeah,
I
the
don't
one in
know
Virginia
what-
is supposed to be.
I don't know what happened,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it was different. It wasn't as good. I think it was because COVID. It used to be so wide open. They had it all the way around. They had, your
Yeah.
crabs and everything, nothing in between. And then they had to separate rooms because they
Right.
were only allowed so many people in a room. And it broke up. I guess it broke up the whole
Atmosphere.
Yeah.
atmosphere of smorgasbord, all you can eat,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I still ate I ate them out of the house and home. I
Get that money
know I
worth.
ate that or twice of my allotted amount.
Well, I'm gonna put Zoe back up in her
Okay.
hammock, and you guys are welcome to stay and watch me put her up, because she's really cute when she goes back up in her hammock. Hey, Zoe. You ready to go? You ready to go to bed?
She knows who you
Go
are.
night night? Alright, come here. So she's gonna reach for me. Come here. Let's go.
Aw.
Good job.
Mhm.
She hangs and her
girl.
little butt goes
Yeah.
right up against her stomach.
Uh-huh.
That's cool.
Alright.
See, that's
So-
how I want you to hold me.
So watch her go up. It's really cute when she goes up. She reaches there and kind of pulls herself up and scooch right in.
Wow.
I'll take a picture of it.
Snuggles in. Yeah, you can come meander the tree limbs there and take a picture in front of the hammock.
Just
You
lay
hit
there
the
with her,
Off button on that one.
like right
Off.
in between
Yeah.
the